Hello, I am Bertrand Russell, a philosopher, mathematician, and advocate for peace and reason. Today, I would like to reflect on one of my observations that remains profoundly relevant to human nature and society. Collective fear stimulates herd instinct and tends to produce ferocity toward those who are not regarded as members of the herd. This statement encapsulates an enduring truth about how fear shapes human behavior, both individually and collectively. Let us explore how this insight applied in my time and how it resonates even more strongly in the world we live in today. How it applied in my time and my lifetime, I witnessed some of humanity's darkest moments: 2 world wars, the rise of authoritarian regimes, and the dawn of the nuclear age. Fear was a potent force in each of these events, mobilizing entire populations to conform to collective ideologies and to demonize those perceived as other. Take the rise of fascism in Europe, for example. Fear of economic collapse, political instability, and cultural change created an atmosphere ripe for manipulation. Leaders like Hitler exploited this fear, fostering a herd instinct that encouraged blind loyalty and ferocity toward those who were labeled as outsiders: Jews, communists, and anyone who dared to dissent. The result was one of the most devastating periods in human history. Even in democratic societies, fear was a tool used to suppress dissent and justify hostility. During the Red Scare in the United States, collective fear of communism led to McCarthyism, a time when suspicion and paranoia destroyed lives and curtailed freedoms. The herd instinct prevailed, making it difficult for individuals to question the prevailing narrative without being ostracized or punished. How it applies now and to us. Fast forward to today, and the dynamics of collective fear have not disappeared. They have merely evolved. In fact, we are living in an age where fear is amplified by technology and weaponized through information warfare. The digital era has given rise to social media platforms that act as echo chambers, reinforcing herd instincts. Algorithms feed us content that aligns with our existing beliefs, deepening divisions and intensifying distrust of the other. Whether it's political polarization, cultural clashes, or fears about global issues like immigration and climate change, collective fear continues to drive us into ideological herds. Consider the impact of disinformation campaigns. Fearmongers exploit vulnerabilities in our information systems to spread panic and rally people against perceived enemies, be they ethnic minorities, political opponents, or entire nations. This fear-fueled tribalism is eroding trust in democratic institutions and making it harder for societies to find common ground. In a world grappling with global challenges, climate change, economic inequality, and the rise of artificial intelligence, the tendency to retreat into herds driven by fear is particularly dangerous. Instead of uniting to address these existential threats, we find ourselves divided, suspicious, and often paralyzed by hostility. A call to reason. My hope, both in my time and now, has always been that humanity can rise above its instincts and embrace reason. Fear, when unchecked, leads to division, cruelty, and stagnation. But when we confront fear with understanding, critical thinking, and empathy, we have the power to break free from the herd mentality and forge a more inclusive, rational, and compassionate society. We must question the narratives that divide us. We must reject leaders and systems that exploit fear for power. And we must remind ourselves that progress is not achieved by isolating ourselves from others, but by finding ways to coexist and collaborate, even in the face of uncertainty. Conclusion. The quote I shared today is not just a reflection of past events, but a warning for the future. If we allow fear to dictate our actions, we risk repeating the mistakes of history. But if we choose courage over fear, reason over instinct, and unity over division, we can transcend the limitations of the herd and build a better world. Thank you for reflecting on these ideas with me. For more insights into how fear, information, and power shape our world, follow information-warfare.com. Together, we can confront the challenges of today with clarity, wisdom, and humanity.